How's it going, guys, and thanks for visiting my channel. And look what I got today from GVM. This is actually a teleprompter this time here, and look at this thing here. So I have the little iPad Pro Air hooked up here. This thing will fit up to an iPad Pro full size. And I was looking at this item here before they send it to me. Okay, send it to me here. Which, by the way, this video is not sponsored by GVM. All my words and opinions are my own here, and I don't get paid to say absolutely anything here. So I received the product review, upload, and that's pretty much it. But I was actually very impressed because usually GVM is more like a budget kind of thing. You know, usually like to keep it the things affordable, right? But there's nothing budget on this teleprompter here. Everything is solid. It's even got a little magnetic things going on here. Everything is like nice and secure. This thing is solid, and everything here is made of metal, the railing and everything. So I feel very comfortable in setting up whatever it is that I want to put in this teleprompter here, because this is not going anywhere. The only thing plastic that you're going to find here is the iPad mount, which no problem. But everything else you see here, down to the frame of this thing, everything is made of metal here. So the first thing we're going to see when you open the box, you're going to find the hood, then the mirror screen, the thumb screws and all the necessary hardware that needs to mount this, the platforms to mount the camera, the iPad holder that fits an iPad Air Pro and bigger iPads, maybe the iPad Pro as well. But guess what? No case. So I love the teleprompter, super nice, and the only thing that I really was disappointed here is because as soon as I received the package here, GVM usually makes a bag or a case for everything they sell. Pretty much everything that I've ever received here come with the case. But this thing, guess what? A teleprompter like this big, the box this big here, does not come with a case. So you're gonna do what? Show up on a professional set or an executive office with the GVM shipping box cardboard? I don't think so, at least not on my production, because how not cool is that gonna look, right? Because I am a professional in finding a case for everything that doesn't have a case, and I'll be sure to leave a link in the description here. You're gonna thank me a lot for that. So I was trying to look for a teleprompter case. Good luck with that. Of course, nobody makes that, right? Unless the manufacturer makes the case itself. Then I was trying to do, I don't know, copier case. No, I don't think so. I was trying to come up with every keyword I could think of. No success until, you know, let's try portable grill case. There was only one case on entire Amazon. eBay, forget about it. I tried that too. And this case happened to be the perfect size, the height and the length, but the width of the case, I thought I was gonna have to cut about 1.5 inches from the actual styrofoam thing that comes with the box here. When I received the actual case, I didn't need to cut anything. It fits like it was actually made by GVM, because all you need is a very thin little bag there, right? Because the whole thing comes already with the whole heavy foam thing. So I was so happy that this case actually fits like a glove, like designed for the case, if you will. So there you go. Now I have a case, and this case costs less than $40. I think if I remember correctly, the price is like $35 or $36. It's a little steep for a very thin little case, but you actually need to be a thin case, nothing rugged, because again, you need space to fit the actual styrofoam, and the styrofoam is actually enough to actually dress the whole case, and nothing inside moves there. So there you go, problem solved. The only thing that I don't like is because it's gonna be showing like something like chef or cooking chef or something like that. That wasn't the case, but it is what it is. But I actually found the perfect case for that. This whole thing comes complete with the teleprompter thing going on here. You can pretty much fit anything that you want here, even with a camera like this long. And this is actually the most problematic camera here, because the front mic here, this thing always gets stuck on the wall here. Now, if you have a C300, a C100, or a RED camera, or any camera that's like more like a modular camera, you're not gonna have this problem here. This thing can actually slide all the way in here. So cameras like this here, all you have to do is to zoom in a tiny little bit. I'm talking about like 10-12%, and then everything is cleared on the display here. But most cameras they're gonna install here, this thing is gonna be completely out of the way. So this thing comes included with everything to start teleprompting right away. The only thing that you have to supply yourself is the actual plate for your camcorder or camera, and also the receiving plate here. It also comes with the screws here supplied. It comes with a 3/8 and a 1/4 inch screw here, so you can actually very safely screw the plate here, so it's not going to swing, it's not going to shift, it's going to be here to stay. So next time I'm going to be showing you guys here step by step how to set this up. The second time I'm going to be setting this up is going to take you actually probably 2 minutes or less to set this whole thing up here. And it also comes with a manual, of course, but I'll be the manual here, which is going to be shown on video here, so it's much better than the manual. So sit back, relax, and watch me set this up. You're going to set this up as fast as I did here. By the way, this is also a tripod from GVM here, which I mainly use for big cameras or something like this here to support the teleprompter here, because this tripod is excellent, but the actual head here, there's not enough fluidity. I mean, it is fluid, but it is so light that it's only good for an iPhone, if you will. So if you want to buy this tripod here for those butter smooth tilt and pan, forget about it. But this tripod is actually excellent, extremely sturdy. But the head is okay, so again, I'm using this tripod here for a big camera, that you set the camera here in a particular position there, set and forget it, good to go. Same exact thing you can do here, because the lock on this thing here is actually pretty good too. Don't expect you to lean on the thing here, don't expect that you do this, because of course it will, but it locks very well here, locks enough. Another thing that you can do is to buy a weight here for a 15mm rod. I think that's what it is here. So you can actually provide a more frontal weight for this teleprompter here. So as you can see, I actually have a very large camera in the back here. This thing is pretty weighty, so it contributes for more rear heavy here. So if you have a DSLR, you know, that's not going to be a problem. Especially the fact that you can actually push the DSLR inside more, so it's going to be more center weighted. And this is exactly the reason why I use this camcorder here, because this is actually the worst camera to set up on a teleprompter. But it can be done, as you can see here. First of all, you're going to get yourself a sturdy tripod for this. The GVM DX16 is actually very good tripod for this, because this head here locks very tightly, so it's not going anywhere. I find that Manfrotto sometimes have some, you know, it's okay, the actual locking on the tilt, but this tripod here is really good. So this tripod here is actually very inexpensive. I mean, the fluidity of the head is okay, it's not that much resistant, but for this purpose here, I would recommend you to get this tripod here, because it is excellent for this teleprompter here, or as a B camera and stuff like that. So first of all, I'm going to be installing the main base here, and you want to be removing all these little screws here, and you will not need after installation at all. And keep in mind, the tripod plate does not come included with this teleprompter here, so you gotta get your own. This is a regular Manfrotto 501 tripod head. Another cool thing about this tripod here is because it supports the regular Manfrotto 501 tripod plates. And this is actually a drop system, so you come here and drop it this way here, and lock it down. The top part here is where the camera goes, and the bottom part is where the teleprompter actually goes. And I also recommend that you get a long plate, because you need to shift a little gravity here, because this is going to be either bottom heavy or front heavy. So occasionally you're going to have to actually swing all the way out or all the way in. So right now I'm going to be setting here. If I need any other adjustments, I'm going to move it here back and forth later on. So again, make sure you remove all the screws here, and you will not need them. It doesn't mean you're gonna throw them away, and make sure you save them in a little plastic bag here that came with this kit. There you go. Next, we're gonna be attaching the camera base here, and keep in mind that you have to supply your own piece here, because this not comes included with this piece here. You have to get your own Manfrotto or whatever brand that you have to slide your tripod plate right here. Make sure you loosen everything here. Then you slide this in here. And obviously make sure the arrow is facing forward on the plate here. You don't want the arrow to face that way, you want it to face this way here. Next step, attach the iPad holder right here, and you want to loosen these two screws here. Don't worry about tightening this right now here, because you will need to move them later on. And finally, you're going to attach the actual glass piece here. Just a hint for you, there's a little sticker on the bottom here from GVM here, so this is going to be actually facing down. And as you can see, there are two holes right here, so this is going to be mounted in this direction here, again with a sticker facing down here, this little yellow sticker here, and it just fits right there. And even without the screws, this is not going to fall, it's not going to go anywhere. So you just drop it here, and then the little latch is going to secure the thing already, so don't worry about that. All you got to do is make sure to align the holes here. Next, we're going to put the screws in here. No need to over tighten, just tighten it. Make sure the actual acrylic here is clean at all times, and also never throw away this packaging protectors here. And also, if possible, keep this as well, this little self-adhesive little plastic here, which ensures that the glass is usually clean, especially the inside part of it here. And next, we're going to be attaching this here. You're going to have this part here facing back towards the camera, and the corners here, the edges, they're all magnetic, which is going to be attaching right to the frame here for a very snug fit. So you simply drop this in here, as you can see. So check out the magnets right here. Pretty cool. Make sure you align everything here, and then you zip this down, and the other side. Make sure everything's aligned right here. You can actually come there and shape it with your hands. You can actually tie this here. Right now you want to prepare to receive the lens inside here, so leave it here. So a camera of this type here, I will have to remove the microphone and the actual lens hood here so it will fit properly inside this hole here. You can do that by two ways, handling the camera itself, or you handle from the bottom plate here. I'm gonna go with the handle here, so just grab it, loose this thing, and then this height here looks like it's about right. Tighten it down. And right now, make sure this is always locked. So right now the camera is gonna be too far away here, so all I have to do is just slide this in, then prepare your camera, get the screen out, power it on. There are 6 screws right here, so all you have to do is to loosen the screws on the bottom here. Just one turn is enough, even a half a turn, otherwise this is actually gonna fall, because these screws here, they're very shallow actually. So widen the tabs right here to something like halfway. I'm using an iPad Air 2 here. This will fit easily right here, even on iPad Pro. So you just close everything here, tighten it down, and your iPad is secure. The only thing that can be a huge pain is because the iPads, you have to actually make sure you are on landscape mode and then you put the thing here. It's always a pain. There you go. Otherwise it's gonna be on portrait mode. Unfortunately, this type of cameras here, this microphone thing here actually hits the wall here. So any teleprompter looks like this on the back here. So either with this GVM teleprompter or any other teleprompter, you have to actually either make the camera come in more, which is impossible. So you have to zoom in a tad. As you can see here, there's a little bit of the frame here. So all you have to do is to zoom in a little bit. It's like I'm all the way out. Zoom in a little bit. Now, if you have a DSLR or any other cinema camera, C300 or whatever, it will be able to fit, you know, inwards more. So only camcorders like this here, you're gonna have this problem here. So as you can see, this cloth here is not in the way. So if the cloth is right here, all you have to do is to make sure the cloth is out of the way, and there you go. So next I'm gonna be opening the GVM app right here, which is the GVM teleprompter. Click on here. And then on the top left, you see the little plus sign here. You can actually import documents or add any text that you want. You can also import PDF file. On the top right, you're gonna see the gear icon here, in which you can actually do the settings. You can choose the font size, the speed, the background color, the mirror mode, sight. You can actually turn it on, turn it off. Obviously, you're gonna be needing to turn on the mirror mode. So do it right now. You can also choose to have the iPad vibrating if yours is equipped with a vibrating device, or any noise, you can turn it on, turn it off right here. Check for updates, it's up to date. Feedback, about, and exit. So let's go back to the text here, and you hit the play right here on the right side, so you can actually edit, delete, or play. So hit play right now. And as you can see, this is actually on mirror mode. Now to adjust here, there's the 3 dots here. You just tap in here, and then you can actually choose the background color and also the font size. You're definitely gonna need a bigger font size here. And also the speed. So the more text that you have, you're gonna have to come back here, depending what kind of document you have, to control the speed. Because a little bit of text is gonna be very slow, a lot of text is gonna be fast. Either one or the other, I don't remember. So right now, I think the text is too big, so I'm gonna go back here and reduce the font size to something like this here. And tap anywhere where it's black. And also make sure you have the mirror in effect here, otherwise it won't look right. So right now, everything is cool. It looks like this here. So you can actually hit play, and there you go. If the text is too slow, you can actually adjust the speed. Let's do that now. Hit on the 3 dots right here. And the teleprompter is still rolling, so let's adjust the speed here, just something like this. Okay, hit play again here, and it looks like this now.
Hi, I'm Dr. Marcus Hill. Thank you for taking the time to watch this consent video on dental implants. And thank you for trusting me with your care. A dental implant is a screw that goes in your jawbone and supports a crown or bridge. It's a fancy, expensive titanium screw, but fundamentally, it's a screw just like any other. A dental implant consists of the main screw in the bone, which is the stage 1, and a second part which goes from the bone level through the gums, that's called an abutment or stage 2.
This also comes with this little cell phone, little selfie kind of little thing here via Bluetooth. So this device here is not actually working for me. It's paired with the iPhone and the iPad. Everything's successful via Bluetooth, but when I press the buttons here, nothing happens. You know, I make sure this is actually on the on position here. So you can see the actual light blinking in blue there. So nothing happens. So I'm not going to be using the GVM software, the teleprompter software here until they actually make it better. I'm going to actually use the software that I currently have on my phone and my iPad, which is called Teleprompter. You can actually download from the App Store or the Google Store for free to a certain extent. Now, if you want full control of the application, you have to pay a couple bucks. I think it's like $16 or something like that. I don't remember. It's less than $20, okay? That way you can actually control anytime with your iPhone. You can actually do it manually instead of like automatically rolling like this here. You can do manually. So right now I'm going to launch my actual teleprompter software on the iPhone here. It's called Teleprompter. So I'm going to be launching the same software on my iPhone here. So on the top here, you're going to see a label named Remote. Tap on it. So on the iPhone here, in which I'm going to be using as a controller, so you want to hit Host Session. And on the iPad, you're going to hit the same remote icon button here, and that you're going to be actually joining session. Then my iPhone 13 Pro Max is identified here. You just hit it, connecting. Then on the iPhone here is going to say Teleprompter iPad Air 2 wants to connect. Accept. Then you're going to open the text on the iPad here. And then you want to start from here. Then you're going to make sure it is on mirror mode, of course, otherwise it's going to look like this here. So settings. Then on the iPad, you're going to hit this. Now it's going. And then click done, then start. You can pause. You can manually do this here with your finger anytime. So you can choose the regular start. You can also use a countdown, of course. So you can pause it at any time. And then if you want, you can actually read it like this here. So count with the level of the bone through the gums, and then you can actually manually do that. You can also rotate it this way here. You can also go to settings. I have the premium here, as you can see. So to have that full control, you need to get a premium subscription. Then on the bottom left, you find the gear icon here. So you want to hit that. And here you can actually choose all this, the font size, background, the margins, the tap to scroll, whatever, dragging. Also the countdown from nothing to like 1 second all the way to 30 seconds. Since you're going to be operating this here remotely with the iPhone, you don't need a timer. But you can if you want. Hit done, and there you go. So whatever is happening here is going to happen there, as you can see here. So when you actually hit stop or pause, or do this here. So this is actually definitely worth to get this application here because I know this works. This is why I'm going to recommend this particular app software for you guys. And also don't forget that you can actually move the whole thing here back and forth. So depending on the size of the tablet that you have here. So before you're tilting everything here, make sure everything is tightening down, especially the camera one here. So make sure everything is safe, secure, everything is down, and also the iPad. So when you actually tilt here, nothing happens. And in case you forget here, this is why they provide those 4 little silver screws, because you install them here, so it's going to be serving as a brake here. The same thing, your camera plate here, your camera won't pass through a certain point and fall on the ground because of the same purpose here. I don't need it because I know I will never forget this, but I would recommend that you still use it. And as you can see with this camera here, it's very bottom heavy, so you can actually buy a weight for your 15mm rod here. I'm not sure if this is 15mm, it should be 15mm or something like that. You can actually help putting some weights on the front here, so you will be a little bit front heavy, equivalent to the weight on the back here. So this tripod again is a very good tripod for this. It locks very well, so when you actually lock, nothing moves. Just don't forget that it is locked, so when you want to move, you don't want to, so you want to unlock it here, and there you go. Now to disassemble the whole thing here, of course you want to start with the camcorder. Make sure you shut it off. Release your plate here. Release this. Nothing's gonna fall forward. Then the next thing you want to do is to unzip this thing here. And there you go, it's out. Then you want to unscrew this. Both hands, remove this glass. One thing that I forgot to mention here, I cannot believe this thing is not glass because I swear there was glass, but it is actually acrylic. But this thing is like super clear and it feels like glass almost, but I know it's not glass because I was actually worried about UPS actually breaking this thing here. I thought I was going to be receiving this box with a broken glass because 90% of the chances that it will be happening, even with the protective shipping that they put in here. But just so you know, this is not made of glass. Now to clean this up here, I'm actually a professional cleaner. I also clean sensors, but to clean things, I have a special touch for everything. So one thing that you want to consider buying also for cleaning your camera is called the DataVac Duster B&H cell design here. So this is just air. So first make sure that you actually get rid of all the dust because the smallest little grain of little something here is going to actually cause a scratch on the glass, right? Also you can actually use a very soft brush like this here. You brush it around the corners. It's okay to have a little bit of dust here, but it's always a good idea to actually keep this crystal clear. Microfiber cloth is gonna leave you here exactly micro residue, so do not use microfiber cloth on any acrylic or screen protectors and stuff like that because it's gonna have those little fine little. Do not use this material here. What you wanna do here is simply cotton ball. You can wet with alcohol here. You can actually do this motion here or circular, it doesn't matter, as long as you repeat the process here and always look against the light or against the surface here so you can actually see what you're doing. And then you want to blast air here again to make sure you remove as much cotton residue here. And finally, you're gonna be using this type of cloth here, the same cloth that cleans your glasses or your cameras or your lenses, right? And then make sure there's no residue here or anything. And then you're finally gonna be polishing this thing here, and you can actually look against a light source here to see where you are, so you can actually see everything. You can also hot breath. You can actually see everything that's going on here until this thing is crystal clear, and then this is how you keep this thing here clean like that. I do the same exact thing with my lenses, cameras. Every time I have a shoot, my whole cameras, every single lens goes through this process. I like doing it, but I'm not sure this is plastic or glass. I don't know, but it looks like acrylic. I don't know. This thing is actually very well made, this glass here. I can't tell if this is acrylic or glass. I'm like cleaning, it's a little colder than usual for acrylic. I don't know. I don't want to break this to find out, right? So you let me know in the comments. Remove, and nothing's gonna fall forward. Remove the iPad. Next, tuck everything in here, make sure everything is tightened before you actually put it back in the box so you don't lose screws here. There's no need to over tighten it, just tighten it. Then you want to lose the little rod thing here and it slides right out. Finally, you're going to remove this here, slides right out, and then remove the rail. If you actually wanted to buy this tripod here with the actual head and your camera happens not to want to go in here, is because you accidentally manually touch the locking mechanism here. All you have to do is just slide this plate here. It goes back to the ready to be locked position, and the camera is going to be sliding and dropping right here. If it doesn't, it's because this happened here. Then do this here and problem solved. So I was actually very impressed with this teleprompter here. Everything is nice and sturdy. I love the little zipper here. Everything mounts in seconds or minutes or whatever. Everything has little touches here with the magnetic stuff. It works very well, as you can see here. So it's very secure. And it takes the camera up to the size here, and everything is made of metal here, so I have zero complaints with this teleprompter here, and it's very well worth the price. So I hope you found the contents of this video helpful. This is what I do here, lighting and things like this here, and I also mix filmmaking and cinematography tips mixed with my reviews here. So if you like what you see, just consider subscribing to this channel. I would really appreciate it. If you want to give me a thumbs up, that tells me that I'm doing a good job here. So if you want to comment anything here, I respond to every single comment that I see. So once again, thank you very much for being here. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.